right, start in about
Yeah, if you
10
want to take
seconds.
like a foot step closer to him.
Yeah.
One more. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. So I'll start in a couple seconds. All right. So I'm here with Joachim Akke, the support player for Alliance. And you guys just won against, I think, Pretty Boy Swag. So you're now sitting at 3-4 with one game to go. How do you feel? How do you think your chances are? What's your state of mind right now?
It doesn't feel so good. We were hoping to win against Navi to be a bit more sure to qualify if we actually win versus EG.
Mhm.
But right now it depends a lot on how the other teams does. Fnatic is playing Liquid and Liquid is playing Speed, and hopefully it will be a big draw like between 3 or 4 teams so we can play more games and qualify from there.
Sure. Let's talk about the Navi game a little bit. Did you guys go into that feeling pretty confident? Did you already sort of feel shaky? How do you feel and how do you think the game went?
I guess we're pretty confident in a way, but also not. Like, it's a best of one, so a lot can happen.
Sure.
I don't really remember our picks that game or how it went. We've been playing so many games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We lost.
When did you feel like the game turned away? Was it when they did that 4-staff Roche steal, or did it feel bad before that?
Yeah, now I remember the game. Yeah, that I think
Did you block it out?
that Roche fight did a lot. We were hoping to like take a fast Roche with the
Yeah, TA.
Galleon and
yeah.
TA and Acid, whatever, but they came at the right moment.
Right.
Otherwise, I think we could have like killed Roshan a couple of times and just kept on killing him to get XP and gold. But actually, they got the kill on Roche as well. But
Sure.
we managed to snatch the Aegis, but it didn't so much since we lost the fight like 4-0 or something.
Right, fair enough. So you guys have been traveling a ton. I mean, in the last couple months, or even in the last few weeks, you've been on 3 continents. Obviously, you guys are in Sweden. You were in Korea. You went straight from there to San Francisco, I
Yeah.
think, and now you're here. Is Columbus the best, or by far the best out of all of the places that you've been?
By far the best,
By far.
of course. No, but every country and city has been really nice to visit, and it was actually really nice to go to SF to not have a huge jet lag to go here.
Sure.
It was only like 2 hours.
Yeah. Do you feel that like helped you guys sort of recharge a little bit?
A bit, but at the same time we've been traveling so much as you said, so we haven't had so much time to practice.
Yeah.
We had like two days in SF, but other than that we played like 2 show matches.
Right.
In Korea,
Right.
so that's not so much practice, and we
DK
ended up
and
losing
Starter.
against DK here anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, have you guys really have you been feeling the pinch of not being able to practice, not being able to research? I know Fear said that you guys scrimmed while you were there, but he said like you guys seemed like you felt a little bit shaky while you were at Lost Pen. So.
yeah, of course, but at the same time I can't blame it on of the lack of practice. The other teams have been playing really well, and it just feels that TC is very strong right now. But we just
strong.
figure it out. So we'll see. Hopefully, as I said before, we're gonna end into a tiebreaker to be able to play games and maybe pick the TC a bit more.
Sure. You guys, at this point, I feel like because you've done so well, obviously, for so long, you almost come into every tournament and people are like, oh, well, the automatic favorites are Alliance. Is that a position that you that bothers you, or do you embrace it? Do you struggle against it?
I think it's really fine. We've been performing very well online. Like, we played in 3 leagues and we topped every group, and like DreamHack, the D2, CL, and D2L.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been going pretty well for us, but here it just felt a bit off, and it's best of ones.
Yeah.
So that's also a big reason why I think Sigma is doing really well. We won against them because we know how to play. But the other teams who doesn't know how to ban their like Abaddon and Viper and all this crazy shit that they are doing. So
Right.
I think they're gonna have a harder time in the playoffs. But they've been showing that they were worthy of the invite for sure. So
Sure.
it's really fun to see.
Of the teams that are still sort of in playoff contention, are there any that you're particularly scared of? You said you feel okay against Sigma. Are DK stoppable? Or
DK
are they?
is stoppable for sure, but they are a really solid team. We usually play pretty even against them. Like the 2 games in Korea was pretty even, at least the second game there.
Yeah, the second game was even. The first game you guys kind of...
But I think DK is gonna maybe win. I guess if we don't qualify to the playoffs. Now, but,
Do you think you're the best? You're the best team to stop them? Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not. I think Sigma has a big chance as well. I think they lost in the group stage.
They did, but it was pretty close. They did well.
But like Navi always somehow ends up on top as well. I think they can beat TQ for sure as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about the version a little bit. I feel like this tournament is really the first, like, because it's so high profile, it's like the first time everybody's sort of really putting it on the line for this patch. What is it, like, do you find anything particularly, like, fun or unfun about this patch? Has it become more open? Is it more difficult to draft?
I think the patch itself, with the creeps and the lanes and such, is super fun. I just love that you get more gold and that the lanes are more even. So it's not always the 3-1-1 lanes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the Elder Titan is too strong.
Yeah.
Like Bulldog says he can't lane against it solo. Sometimes when he has like Fury and stuff like that. And then when we try to zone him out, he just keeps on spamming his spirit.
Right.
So, and then he
like
can
in the Navi game.
Yeah, and then they can scout with it. They can push out lanes, and his stomp is really good as an initiate as well. So it's just a strong hero overall that makes the patch a bit boring. But I think if they just fix a couple of stuff like that, then it's
particular heroes. But you think that mechanically it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. So if you guys make it to playoffs, think your chances are good? You think you've sorted out some of the issues that you've had?
I think our chances are good, but at the same time, like, we have to win versus EG, and the other teams has to win and lose in like one way.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've been losing games you should win, or are you performing more or less, given like travel and practice, how you expect it?
I think we just outpicked us a bit in some games because, like, of course the other teams played very, very well, but we just felt ourselves that we couldn't do anything from the laning. Like we talked about, like, okay, if we put those heroes there and those heroes there, we always came out with the like, okay, we can't win this game if we do that, and if we do that, we can't win the game. So it felt like we played a bit from behind, but it's our own fault. So I mean, the drafting is a huge part of the game as well. So I don't think it's like blaming it on something else when you say that you lose the draft, because as I said, like, the draft is so big as well, so it just makes the other team better at drafting, which makes them better as well.
Right.
Because people say, like, oh, they're just complaining about the draft and not about the plays, but
yeah, it's all part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, you have any shout out sponsors, team?
Shout out to our sponsors XMG, Razer and Monster.
All right. Well, Akke, thank you so much for talking with us, and best of luck with what could be a very, very long night if you have to play a lot of tiebreakers.
Thanks.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.